Good afternoon and welcome to ATN Society Watch. This is a program where we spotlight societal issues, give them a collective attention, and work towards solutions that make society better for everyone. Today on the headlines, mother, apprentice kills master with pistol in Anambra. Drug trafficking, businessman, 2 Angolans excrete 236 cocaine wraps. Tragedy, boat accident claims 14 lives in KB. Abuse, father allegedly confines chains son for 17 years. We're open for sponsorship of this program, jingles and advert placements, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product service promotions and commercials. Watch us live on www.atlanticnetwork.tv, Avo TV channel 205, Limex TV platform, Ifastech platform, Apple TV, Niger TV, Iroko TV. Connect with us on ATN socials. Subscribe, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. And on X, at Atlantic TV Net. We go on a short break, and when we return, I will introduce my guests, and we will have the stories. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show, and thanks for staying with us. Joining me on the show today is Mr. Stephen Akrika, a social activist and a public affairs analyst, and a friend of the house, lest I forget. Mr. Stephen, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you, Afina.
All right. I hope we have a beautiful show. It's our first time.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the stories now. An 18-year-old apprentice has allegedly killed his master during a heated altercation in Fege, Onitsha. The suspect, identified as Chiemere, reportedly attacked his boss, Ike, with a mortar pistol after being scolded after alleged pilfering of money and drug abuse. Eyewitnesses say the victim was a trader at the popular Obogo Bridgehead Medicine Market. The argument reportedly escalated on Sunday evening when the apprentice picked up a pistol from the kitchen and struck his master on the head. The victim was rushed to the hospital but later died. The spokesman of the Anambra State Police Command, SP Tochukwu Ikenga, confirmed the incident, stating that the suspect has been arrested and the weapon recovered. Police say investigations are ongoing. Mr. Stephen, what do you make of this report?
Well, the action is totally bad and bad as such. But I believe in our society, we should be concerned about what the Bible says, be a brother's keeper. From the angle of whereby, I believe within that scenario, within that environment where the young man was learning his apprenticeship, we have so many persons there within that place. At least that would have curbed this crime from happening. We should not applaud crimes. We should curb it. We should see how we can eradicate it. We should prevent it than waiting for crimes to emanate and we are now. And also the police, I believe, the Nigerian security force also should also help us to protect life and properties, thereby being out there for us in times like this. And I totally am against this act, because the act is really fermented, not really calling, and I frown at this totality, and I wish this does not come to play. Apprenticeship, whatever must have caused through hatred, through what that would have caused one to take the life of someone, is totally out of place, and we frown about that.
All right. I don't know. Do you, in a way, think that this tragic end could have been avoided in a way? You know, onlookers who were there actually stated the fact that there was no very serious misunderstanding even that could have led to this boy getting extremely angry to the point of killing the man. He was just scolded. Do you understand? And the fact that I was even asking, is it that there was nobody in the scene to have stopped this 18-year-old boy? Mind you, the perpetrator of this crime is just an 18-year-old boy. Is it that there was nobody there to have come to intervene to stop the conflict, the trouble that had arose? And then another question that bothered me was the fact that, you know, the report has it that the only time the oga of the boy had scolded him was for the fact that he was stealing money from the shop and he was doing drugs. So do you think that this in a way has to do with probably the drugs he is taking? Do you see drug playing a role in this whole drama?
Okay. Afina, let me come in here. Naturally, anybody who takes drug, whether your sibling, your friend, whatever relationship you have with that person, there's anybody taking drug is an insane person, because drug has its way of pushing one to do what he or she wouldn't want to do, and at that I frown at even the boss, even keeping him to that extent, because this person is in drug. They should be, if one is abreast that his apprentice is into drug, you let the NDLA know. We have and the police agency. I mean, this person should go through, should be apprehended first and tortured, because if you try to see how you can tame them, you don't tame someone who is taking drug with your mouth, because anything you try to say, he or she sees it that you are against his choice of lifestyle. So he sees you as a threat. He sees you as a threat. So at that spot, they don't anything good. You cannot advise them, because they feel that you are not in that same cartel. You're not in that same clique that takes that. So you cannot advise them anything good. So even keeping that, and the part that this scenario happened and nobody could hold this guy to ransom within the neighborhood, within the shop lines, then is an aberration. It's totally appalling that this came to place. Because, like I said earlier, we should be a brother's keeper. How do we be a brother's keeper? An injury to one is an injury to all. I mean, before is to before arm. You see this coming to play. As neighbors, no, you don't. You stop him at the go, not allowing the action to take its course. And whether the part that you say whether one who is learning a skill, learning a work, should be scolded. Scolding is not off from it. That's why we have formal and informal education. So at such, this place of correction is not out of place. The boss, the instructor, should intermittently scold the apprentice or the learner. So that is not out of place. But the part that he took the laws into his hands by murdering, by taking the life of another who happened to be his boss, it's totally bad. We debunk such act in our environment and in our society. Basically, he did not try, and I believe the law should take it course by making sure that he should be placed behind the bars, and what is due to him should be. And at this point, we shouldn't. My concern is that the security agency also there should be a timeline, a time frame for this. Not that you take the person behind the bars in the next 2-3 days, the person is being released and then he's coming back to act to be more harmful. The law should take its course on him. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that analysis. Let's go back to the next report. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have intercepted a China-based Nigerian businessman and 2 Angolan nationals who excreted a combined 236 wraps of cocaine after being arrested at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport and the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport. The Nigerian suspect, Ibeanu Chukudu Ile, excreted 52 pellets weighing 735.95 grams, while 2 Angolans expelled 184 wraps weighing over 2 kilograms after body scans confirmed drug ingestion. In a related operation in Lagos, NDLEA foiled an attempt by a convicted trafficker, Olashupo Michael Oladimeji, to export 1.10 kilograms of cocaine concealed in Gari to London. Oladimeji, currently serving a jail term at the Ikoyi Correctional Center for a previous cocaine conviction, allegedly coordinated the latest scheme from prison through his logistics company. A staff member who presented the consignment for export was arrested. The agency also recorded multiple seizures nationwide, including skunk hidden in jerry cans bound for the United Kingdom, cannabis concealed in a children's toy in Abuja, and large quantities of tramadol intercepted in Kwara State. In Oyo State, a suspected female drug dealer was arrested with meth, cannabis, cash, and vehicles. NDLEA says it has intensified interdiction efforts amid rising attempts to smuggle illicit drugs through Nigeria's airports and logistics channels. What do you make of this report?
Okay.
Let's talk about drug trafficking and how desperate these traffickers have become when it comes to trafficking drugs. They are now willing to do anything. Now, as far as hiding drugs in children toys, gari, which is an edible food, and all that. What do you make of this report?
Okay, pushing it from this, Jojo affirms that the reason why he writes is to push the world to a certain direction. Now, in pushing the world to a certain direction, every hands must be on deck, because now, looking at the level of atrocities that is going on within our society, is something that all hands must be on deck to ensure that we eradicate or we curb this level of menace in the society. And now, I don't see the rationale behind people you put in into a gari bag and you're exporting, and you're taking take them in their system, and when they go out they try to defecate it out and others. This is way too bad, and as such, my concern is how does this drug emanate into our society? How do we get this drug? Now the likes of tramadol and the rest. How does this drug come to? Who sells this drug? Who imports these drugs to the country? How do we ship in these drugs to the country? Because there's definitely no factory, no company that produces these drugs within us. So how are we able to get it? So the government firstly should checkmate the how this comes into play through these various means, and ensure that there is no importation of drugs, because growing up those days, we could hardly see anybody taking a drug on this, but these days it is being pluralized, whereby on the streets you see them, you see young boys, some of them are teenagers, some of them are underage, taking drugs and all that. So these things should be what the government should be concerned. The government of the day should be concerned, and the law enforcement agents should not just be concerned about. The other day on the street, I saw a police personnel within the corridor assets, stopping a young boy and telling him to transfer some money to him, because he presumed that the young man should be a Yahoo boy, and for him to transfer some money to him, and that. These are the things that should not come into play. If a crime, if one is being caught in a crime, that he or she should be dealt with immediately, not taking sides on such. So these are the things that the government of the day should ensure that these things does not come into play. And thanks to this security personnel that apprehended these persons on this, and they should also have it not at the back of their mind, in front of their mind, that there's still a whole lot of persons that needs to be apprehended on this, who are taking this, and everyone should go. Security is everyone's duty. We should go all out to ensure that these persons that are taking this drug, they are being apprehended, because if you say it does not concern you, tomorrow it may concern you. It may be a business, and we are not praying such to happen. So at such, we should ensure and endeavor that within our look and cranny, these persons taking these harmful drugs are not found around us. We should endeavor to report them to the appropriate quarters and ensure that they are being arrested.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Akrika. But then I have been concerned. I saw something else in this report. I know you saw it too. You know, still in the report we have it that is it Mr. Oladimeji who is behind bars currently because he involved in drug trafficking. Is also one of the persons that has also been caught again by the NDLEA to have masterminded the trafficking of drugs. Again, so I've been asking, someone who is behind bars for trafficking drugs, and then right from the walls of the prison, he's able to involve in the same crime that took him to prison. How did this happen? Does this in a way point to the lapses in our prison system, or what? What do you think?
I think a major concern in the country is there's no level of checks and balance. What do I mean? Checks and balance in the sense that at these security agents, there should be some level of checks and balance. You don't imprison somebody and you allow someone who should be should be in prison, then the person has the guts to also do the same act. Then that means the system is totally gone, because you cannot be in such place and you're doing some level of trading and profiting making in that, you're doing some level of business in such. So the system is, there's no checks and balance being done. Yeah, but the government is not even putting. I believe the government should put an eye to these prison warders and all of that, and daily, to ensure that such does not occur, whereby somebody, it is so fermented, it's so disheartening, it's something that should not just happen. That means at least we are not even saying that the person ran out of the prison. Rather, the person is in that prison. The person in that prison doing business,
masterminding more crimes.
Then
that means he even has access to communication which is not supposed to be.
That is the same thing I say. That means the system is being pluralized. The system lacks its base. The system is baseless. The system does not is not functioning, because if it's functioning, this person should not be abreast with any communicative device that he will eventually. Who knows if the security agents, if the prison orders are not even accomplices to this, because with this they are accomplices, allowing him to go into such level of business. It is so appalling. The government should look inwards and look inwards to ensure that these things does not occur again. We should not hear this. It is totally disheartening.
All right, thank you so much for that analysis. On to the next report. A boat accident has claimed 14 lives in Yarui local government area of KB State. The victims, mostly women and a child, were returning from a wedding when the boat capsized mid-journey. More than 100 passengers were reportedly on board at the time of the incident. The tragedy occurred near Gombe village after the boat had escorted a bride to her husband's home in Gwazo village, Ngaski local government area. The accident has thrown the community into mourning, with families grieving the sudden loss of their loved ones. Governor Nasser Idris commiserates with the bereaved families and the Yauri Emirates, describing the incident as painful and devastating. He urged residents to remain steadfast and accept the tragedy as the will of the Almighty Allah. We see what was supposed to be a celebration ending in sorrow. I mean, a wedding had just been concluded and the bride was being accompanied to her husband's house, and in the process we now record the loss of 14 lives, turning the whole ceremony into a dead end, into a tragic end. I mean, this is very tragic. What do you make of this report?
I sympathize with the families of the bereaved. But on the other part, these boat cargoes, they should be concerned. Their concern should be safety first. Safety should be their priority. Safety, because if all of them they had their life jackets worn, maybe this wouldn't have. And also they should also look at the weight, the number of persons that a specific boat can carry. A boat that maybe that is not really, we have speed boats, we have engine boats and the rest. So you don't overload a boat and you expect that boat to be 100% safe. No. Our concern is that the African mentality is that we want to make all the millions in a day, we want to do everything, and we always say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, matters a lot. So we won't say it doesn't matter, and you're carrying you're overloading a boat, and most of these persons they are with maybe their luggages and all that in that same boat, and they're doing such part. So 100% in such boat, is it a ferry boat? Is it a cargo that should carry such numbers? So how big, how gigantic is the boat, and how sound is the engine? So these are the things that we should look out for. And the persons on the boat, are all of them putting on their life jackets, and how authentic is this life jacket? Is it outdated or is still intact? So these are the phenomena that we should look out for before each boat should take its move. And most of the times there are some creeks, there are some places within the Nigerian environment whereby you see a boat without headlights, without nothing. We'll be making some moves at night, and these drivers, they'll be using the moonlight. At least you're from the riverine, you're from Baisa.
Yes.
You know a little on this. They'll be moving at night with this boat, and there's no headlight. There's no their sight of vision is low, is dim, and they'll make this because they feel that if we've been doing it other years, why can't we do it? And we have some issues like this. Now imagine the lives of 14 persons gone down.
Amen.
They just went for a wedding, and a wedding just turned into a burial, and it is on call for. So please, this should not repeat itself again. So it is a clarion call to all boats drivers and cargo and all of them, all their captains. They should be concerned about safety. Safety should be their priority firstly. Then they should also look at their boats, how sufficient, how equipped, how constructive is this boat, these cargoes on the sea, on the sea. So they should be concerned about that. Then before they can now move in. So the government also have much to do to look at these things. Okay, there should be some personnel apart from the navies who are there to look at the insecurity on the sea. They should also have some persons who will checkmate these boats in this sea, not just on land. They will checkmate this boat on this sea, these rivers, these waters, creeks, to ensure that these boats they are observing their PPE and they are what. Also these boats are in good shape. And with this, we will not record such again anymore.
It's very tragic, and we hope that we do not record such again. We really do sympathize with the bereaved families. Now on to the next report. The Bauchi State Police Command has rescued a middle-aged man allegedly confined and kept in chains by his biological father for about 17 years in Shadawanka village, Bauchi local government area of Bauchi State. The victim, identified as Muhammad, popularly known as Babangida, was freed. Concerned authorities, police detectives from B Division visited the residence and found the victim in an emaciated condition. He was immediately rescued and taken to a hospital for medical treatment and rehabilitation. His father, Muhammad Lawan, has been arrested and is currently in police custody. The Commissioner of Police, Sani Omolori Aliyu, has ordered a preliminary investigation and directed the case to be transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department for a thorough probe. Police say more details will be released as investigations continue. We have a father chaining his own biological son and keeping him in chains for 17 years. The question is why? And how come this young man, Babangida, that's his other name, was kept in these chains for 17 years and no one knew, no one found out about it? Is it that they had no one visiting their house? They didn't have friends? The young man in question, he didn't have friends that checked up on him to have discovered that such was happening, that it got up to 17 years before someone discovered and then alerted the police. What do you make of this report?
Okay. Well, it is a resounding cry that a father could do this to his son. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, 17 years. And it is really appalling. It is really appalling, and I am also concerned the wife of this man or the mother of this boy. If he's still alive, why there is no atom of ground, and keeping your child? What level of money did this person want to make? This man want to make with his own child? That is what the Bible says, that the demon of this world have blindfolded their eyes. When you blindfold the eyes means what? Their heart have been darkened, that they don't see anything, everything. They see everything evil to be good, and they don't see anything good, because the joy of you, how many millions, or what protection are you looking for? That you bound your child for 17 years, and maybe your child is sitting down, maybe you're just feeding your child in a particular room, and for that long. It is really demonic. It's so pathetic, and I believe the set time for his emancipation just came, and that was why he was he was released. So okay, let's say for instance, if the boy was 15 years when he did this to him, let's say 15 plus 17, that is 32 years. 32 years the boy has been there on his standstill for this long. It is so demonic, it's ungodly, is barbaric. The father of this boy should be dealt with by the law. We should follow the law this way, and the law should not give some level of sympathy to him. We should follow the law squarely, and ensure that justice is being done. Then to the boy, I also advise that he should also go for some medical checkup to ascertain his level of psych, and see how he can be abreast with things around him, because 17 is not 17 days. How he can come to terms with things, with his environment, and with his surrounding. So these are the things that should be checked. He should also go to a rehab, whereby he can also be checkmated, and maybe run some psychological psych on him, then X-ray him first, then before he can now come to this society. Then that of the neighborhood, his relatives, and all that them not to check on him. I don't see maybe did he have a special room that the wife cannot access, his children cannot, other children cannot access, or were they been also under the spell? These are the things that these other persons also should also answer. Should also make should also respond to this to this fact for this so long, not 17 months, not 17 days, 17 years, and these are the things that should also be checkmated. And also, I believe it's not just this man alone who is also in this also. Maybe within his because I believe he's not a normal father would not want to
do that for that long.
To his son. So I believe some forces, he has placed his hands in some strange forces, and some strange forces has also made him do. I believe some other persons are also involved in that same strange force who have done this also to their own children. So he in his place of trial, they should also his neighborhood, they should also see how they can also do some revamping, some level of restructuring, revamping. Why did this this mishap? Why did he not? Why did they not report another? So the number of persons who are also involved in this should also be apprehended.
I mean, very importantly, those who saw this happening for this long and decided to keep quiet, being indifferent about it, they should also be brought to book, you know. As we conclude, Mr. Stephen, touching the 4 stories that we have looked at, what is your final message to our viewers? Okay,
on this, I say, first of all, peace is priceless. We should look out for peace in our daily encounters. The society is a large place for us to stay, and we should be concerned about not just things that tears us apart, but things that bind us together. It is unity in diversity and not unity in dichotomy. So as such, just like Chinachiba has affirmed that things fall apart and the center cannot hold, we should not be concerned about things falling apart. We should be concerned about things that build us together. And as such, we should look out for our dear ones and ensuring that we share a good upbringing, a good environment, a good society within ourselves, and ensure that an injury to one is injury to all, and as such, we should